Greetings, YouTube, and welcome to episode 314 of the 4,000 Question Challenge. And this time, I remembered the number. What did you think of the Whitewater scandal? That was so long ago, I don't remember much of it. We have had so many scandals since then, and the Republicans have done so much more evil in the world. So much more evil that I don't even remember the details of the Whitewater scandal. I don't. I can't even say it's in the top 10 scandals. What do you think about the Monica Lewinsky scandal? Well, I think that a president and an intern, I think she was an intern, had an affair. And I think it was nobody's business at all. And I think Clinton was an idiot for answering questions the way he did. So I guess that's my thoughts. I think Monica Lewinsky got screwed over by this whole thing. I feel a great deal of sympathy for her. And I wish that her life had not been turned upside down by this. But it was an affair, had nothing to do with us at all. And we didn't ever need to know about it. It had no impact whatsoever on our president's capacity to govern. The fact that he then lied about things, that did, hence the problems. So it was Bill Clinton's fault, not the affair's fault that caused the problem in my book. What do you think about stopping all legal immigrants into the United States for the next 5 years? A really bad idea. At the time of this recording, one that the GOP has cleaved to its chest and would love to stop all immigration completely because they're horrible people. Whose politics have you admired? Whose politics? That's, again, strange phrasing. So you're asking whose political agenda or whose politicking have I admired? Obama talked a good game. He was a war criminal that deserved to be in prison. Clinton talked a good game. Same thing. Sanders, he's the only one I can say I really admired. Well, no, AOC, I'm a really fan of hers as well. Do you believe every person is racist? No, I don't. Because in America, only white people can be racist. Now, if the question is, do I feel that all white people are racist? Yes, I do. To one degree or another, you are either directly or indirectly racist because you have benefited from racist institutions. Simply by virtue of the fact that you are a white person in America. Same holds true for being white in Europe. You have benefited from racism. And until you address that, until you face it, until you admit your complicity in it, you don't get to move past it. I have admitted my complicity, and I'm making an effort to be a good ally to minority groups. I'm not saying I'm perfect, and it's not up to me to judge when I've done the job right. But I don't even get to start it without confronting it first. How do you think the world would be different if all the world's leaders were women? Probably be better off. I can tell you right now that all of the women leaders seem to be handling the COVID-19 pandemic better. And a lot of the world's leaders seem to be handling their political issues in a superior manner to the men of the world. Because let's face it, there's a whole lot less dick waving. When do you make up your mind for voting? In the voting booth? Days before? The week before? Or long before the election? Long before the election. What steps have you taken to prevent the depletion of the ozone layer, global warming, and the greenhouse effect? Well, we've stopped using the products that harm the ozone. So, check. Global warming, I believe that we should stop funding, we should not stop giving tax breaks and giving out subsidies to um, big oil and coal like that. We need to start weaning ourselves off of those things and start sinking huge amounts of money into renewables. And if you do those things, the global climate change and greenhouse gases are kind of tied together. So I endorse renewables, and I endorse making the petroleum companies and the fossil fuel producers pay for the damage they've done to the world, most assuredly because they've known that it was a thing for decades and went about not only hiding this information, but then sowing a disinformation campaign which has convinced huge swaths of stupid Americans to support the fossil fuel industry over the science of global change, climate change. So, yeah, if you're a global climate change denier, you have been used by the fossil fuel industry. And lastly, for episode 314, do you own a flag and display it? Right there, folks. That's my flag, and it's displayed that way for a reason. I wonder how many people who see it like that will understand why. Alrighty. Thank you for being here for episode 314 of the 4,000 Question Challenge. I hope you'll be here for episode 315.